channel. Before we get into this video, I just want to give a quick thank you to everyone who's been watching my recent uploads. If you do see something you like, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can catch the latest videos when I put them out. And if you do see something you think I can improve upon, please go ahead and drop it in the comments so that way I can see about improving the quality of the videos. And without further ado, let's get into this episode of Dredge. As I was leaving the collector's house, I contemplated what I would need to do to assist him further. He wanted me to head to a new area to find another artifact, but I decided before I did that I would need to find materials. While I was out looking for these materials, I came across a bronze belt buckle, which actually reminded me of what a grieving father was looking for. Before approaching the grieving father, I decided that it would be best to probably talk to him while the sun is up. Hello, is everything okay? About that belt buckle. You give the belt buckle to the man. This is his. Oh, thank you. Bless you. You've returned him to me. Please take this. I've not any money to pay you, but this might hold some value to you. I'd best be off now. Upon leaving Little Morrow, I decided to make a quick pit stop at Greater Morrow to kind of get an idea of what I would need to upgrade my boat so I can plan ahead. The lighthouse keeper emerges from the dark forest that flanks the town. She walks towards the dock with a confused look on her face. Oh, it's you. Excuse me? Your engine. It sounds like... I'm sorry. I mistook it for a vessel of an old friend. Dejected, she turns and walks back towards the lighthouse. After a weird interaction with the lighthouse keeper, I met with the shipwright to formulate my plan. Seeing the parts that she needed to upgrade my boat, I set out and made a quick stop at the crab pot that I put down earlier. I collected the crabs and the pot, taking special note of the abnormal crab that was inside. I spent a couple more hours collecting materials before returning to Greater Morrow, selling all my fish, and buying a new crab pot. With the new crab pot on board, I decided that I would leave Greater Morrow just for a quick trip to go and drop it in a spot that had plenty of crabs to catch. I took a little bit of care finding a place for it before returning back to Greater Morrow to rest up for the night. I set out from Greater Morrow to continue collecting materials and money for the upgrades that I needed to do on my boat. I stopped at a spot that had some flounders and a green energy, catching a cyclopean flounder. In the process, it had a giant bulbous eye on it. I did stop at another flounder fishing spot and caught a riddled flounder. Two abnormals in one day definitely felt strange, seeing that they were not normal. The next day, I set out from Greater Morrow with the idea of maybe checking a new area for more materials, so I decided to go to the island where the builder had set up her home. Hey, thanks again for helping me move out here. I've managed to get myself set up now. She hands you a book. The cover is dusty, but in otherwise good condition. If you ever need to use the dock or store stuff here, be my guest. I decided to start reading the book right away as I thought it would be beneficial for me in the long run, before going out and collecting resources. I had ended up pushing my luck, but it did turn out pretty good, collecting a new abnormal fish, the tusk grouper. I then stayed at the dock where the builder lived before heading back to Greater Morrow to turn in all the supplies that I had and see where I was at with upgrading my boat. I was able to get all the upgrades, and the last one I had available was upgrading the hull. Seeing that I needed a lot of parts and money, I decided to buy a hydraulic rod so that way I can fish for maybe some bigger fish and get a little bit more money from them. I headed back towards the area with the builder to continue exploring that around there and see if there were more materials to find. While I was out there, I did notice off in the distance what looked like to be a structure of some sort. Figured I would end up going back there later. When I finally decided to head back towards Greater Morrow, I did encounter some rocks that just kind of shown up out of nowhere. I made sure not to hit them because it would probably end up damaging my boat and costing me some money to get it fixed. I decided to push my luck again the next night that came around and see if I could catch this new shark that I hadn't seen before. It was giving me quite some issues reeling it into the boat. And when I finally did, I noticed I didn't have enough space, so I tried moving around what I could. There was no amount of Tetrising that I could have done to make both sharks fit on the vessel, so I decided to leave the old one behind and take the fresher one. While I was getting everything sorted, a creature came out of nowhere and attacked my boat, but I didn't have enough time to really get a good look at what it was before it ran off into the night. I tucked tail and ran back to Greater Morrow out of fear that my boat would sink. Oh my, you look exhausted. You're not forgetting to get some sleep, are you? As I always say, taking frequent breaks is an important part of being productive. I only needed one part left to upgrade my hull, and I was unsure of where to find it. So I decided that maybe Gale Cliffs would have the part I needed, so I decided to head that way. You approach a hooded figure swathed in dark blue robes. Their face is barely visible. Fisherman, please help. You can barely hear their rasping whisper above the wind and waves. Fulfill the hunger. The hooded figure unfurls an old paper scroll. They point to a shape at the top. It appears to be a blue mackerel. I found it an odd request, but I decided that I would oblige nonetheless. I set out to see if I could find a blue mackerel nearby that I can give this strange figure. Luckily, there was. I did end up catching two abnormalities in the process, but I was able to get just regular blue mackerel like they had asked for. I returned post haste and cautiously gave him the blue mackerel that I had caught. With expert precision, they plunge their hands through the gullet of the fish and tear out the heart. They stuff it into their mouth unceremoniously. More. Still empty. They point to another shape on a second scroll. This one looks like a tiger mackerel. I was unsure of where tiger mackerel would be located, so I put it in the back of my mind and decided that if I came across one, I would return here with it to provide this hooded figure. And I decided to continue on my way to the Gale Cliffs. A rotten mass lays down on this island, half hidden by the foliage. At its base, an old boat is cracked in two. I decided to take what I could from the boat, as surely the previous owners wouldn't be using it anymore. Once everything was neatly placed upon my vessel, I decided to finish the final leg of this journey to Gale Cliffs, narrowly avoiding a water spout that seemed to appear out of nowhere. I pulled up to a free floating dock. Ahoy there! You're a new face. A fisherman, I take it? Perfect. Well, we should get along like a house on fire. Haha! I'm a traveler and a merchant, all rolled into one. If you have any fish to sell, I'll take 'em on board and sell 'em at the next town I come across. Likewise, I haul a small cargo of equipment between places. You're welcome to peruse the stock and see if there's anything that takes your fancy. Come and see me when you're ready to trade. On this side of the pontoon, I'll buy any fish you want to sell. I also keep a stock of crab pots here for sale. Say, have you met the photographer? She stopped by my pontoon a little while back. She's loaded up with fancy camera equipment to take pictures of all the wildlife. She sighs wistfully. I wish I had my own camera. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to document everything you do? You never forget anything. You should check on her. You might be used to dry docks at other ports, but we can make the same upgrades to your boat here at this floating dock. Check it out. Most of this gear is super heavy, so I don't offload it at every pontoon. But come aboard and see what equipment I've got for sale. I spent the next morning seeing what kind of aquatic wildlife was in the area, hoping that I would catch some new fish, and I ended up catching a tiger mackerel. So I caught a few, making sure to keep in mind the one for the hooded figure. Once I was done catching the mackerel, I noticed that there was another message in a bottle and decided to go over and look to see what it was. Artifact Manifest. Vessel SY Grand Prize. Owner Mr. Michael Schultz. Port Gale Cliffs. Oaken Music Box. Purchased from the antiquarian at Little Morrow for a bargain price. Previously salvaged from an undisclosed shipwreck. Has the letter J carved on the underside, otherwise in reasonable condition. Has not been opened for fear of damaging the mechanism, pending inspection by locksmith. Wooden mask. Carved wooden tribal mask. Said to bring good luck, fertility, good health, fortune, rain, and protection from evil spirits. Traded for a pair of socks and a pocket watch chain. Jar of Earth. A jar containing earth from a meteor impact site, allegedly. That music box sounds like something similar to what I think the collector is looking for. Definitely seems worth investigating. I caught some more fish before heading back to the pontoon to sell them and make some money. Once I was back at the pontoon, I decided that I would turn in a little early for the day to get a head start on the following day. Alright everyone, that'll do it for this episode of Dredge. If you made it this far into the video, I appreciate it greatly. If you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be posting once a week. And if you saw something I can improve upon, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are. Bye.